Hey everyone, Demeech here.
And Tyler from T&D Productions, formerly known as Ty the Guy 2800.
Here for another podcast. Now, in this podcast, we're going to have a little debate over whether or not we're getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC or a full-on new Mario Kart for the Switch.
Yep. So I'll be playing Devil's Advocate and rooting for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC pack, which might have a possibility, but Dimitri will be counteracting that with possibilities that Mario Kart 9 might be coming to the Switch.
So yeah, the way this is going to work is we're going to give our ideas and counteract them, and it'll be up to you guys what you think is actually going to happen, the DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Mario Kart 9.
Right on.
So, the first reason why I think we're getting Mario Kart 9 is because every Nintendo console has had a new Mario Kart game. We've seen every Nintendo console since the SNES, except for the Game Boy and Virtual Boy, get a new Mario Kart game. And, yeah, excuse me, the Game Boy Advance did get a Mario Kart. I'm talking about original Game Boy. But we haven't seen a Nintendo console without a brand new one ever since then.
Well, to counteract that, we did get a Mario Kart game for the Switch, whether or not it was a port or not. I believe it was an enhanced port. It is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it is very odd that this is kind of the first time we see a Mario Kart port on a brand new Nintendo console instead of a brand new Mario Kart right away. Now, this tells me one of two things. Either A, they're busy making a new Mario Kart, or in my case, B, this is kind of standing in for Mario Kart 9 because they don't know what else to do with the Mario Kart series. And something to kind of bring up is that no console has ever had two Mario Kart games before. Now, it's totally possible for it to have two Mario Kart games at the same time, but it is a little bit weird to have kind of a enhanced port on the shelf next to this, new shining behemoth called Mario Kart 9. It makes sense. It made sense at the time for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to be, one of the games for the Switch, but it just kind of feels like it's going to be an afterthought when Mario Kart 9 comes out, or if it even comes out. So I'm going to argue that, it's a little hard to see two Mario Karts on the shelf for the Nintendo Switch.
Now, you said that there hasn't been two Mario Karts for a console yet. That might be true that a console doesn't have two dedicated Mario Karts. But, if a console is backwards compatible like the DS Lite or Wii, you can play two Mario Kart games. For example, you can play Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. You can play Mario Kart Super Circuit and Mario Kart DS on the DS and DS Lite. You can play Mario Kart Double Dash and Mario Kart Wii on a Wii that supports GameCube games. And you can play Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 on a Wii U. So there
Well, if you want to be,
possibly could be two Mario Kart games. And I think
Mhm.
at this point, people are getting a little bit bored of Mario Kart 8 because the game is 5 years old. And that's the longest time we've gone without a Mario Kart game since Mario
Mhm.
Kart Super Circuit.
And I agree. I think it has been a long time since a new Mario Kart game, but technically that's backwards compatibility. It's not the same thing as having two Mario Kart games on the same console. But yeah, it has been a long time, and it's kind of strange considering that Mario Kart games typically don't take this long to develop. What it's telling me is maybe either the game is huge or the game isn't even in development. So,
Well, thinking it's not in development, that seems a little bit weird. Because, like I said, it's been 5 years, so they gotta have something, right?
well, and with that something brings up my next point, where I think they're working on DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, do I want this to happen? No. But there is a high possibility that this might happen. Now, Nintendo released quote unquote DLC a year after the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the form of Labo compatibility and Breath of the Wild Link as a skin for Link. These weren't huge updates. However, it is kind of telling that, you know, that out of the blue we kind of get updates for these minuscule things such as Labo or Link from Breath of the Wild. And it's also kind of telling when Nintendo says that there will be future updates. for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the near future. So whether or not that tells me that we might get some new courses for the game, or if we might get new characters or DLC packs, I think what that tells me is that DLC is on the way for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And the game has sold about 10 million copies. So, the game is really well sold. A lot of people on the Switch have it. And a majority of fans think it is the definitive Mario Kart experience. I'm not saying that they're bored of it, right? I'm just saying that at this point in time, people do believe it's the definitive Mario Kart experience.
Now, counteracting that, they said updates will be coming soon, but the only ones that did were the Labo updates. We got the Link costume, and then it said updates coming soon, and all we've gotten since then is the Labo update. So what I'm thinking is DLC
Sure.
might have been planned, but there was so much they had that they just scrapped DLC entirely to make Mario Kart 9. Now I know, sales might have been really good for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but a new game sells way more than DLC ever could. People go
And
to stores,
yeah.
see the new Mario Kart, hey, this looks really cool, I'll get it. But sometimes people are hesitant to get DLC, especially parents. They don't really feel like getting more stuff in games for their kids, and a lot of parents don't like to put their credit card information in either. So having a new game out there like Mario Kart 9 just makes the most sense, and it doesn't seem like there's really going to be any more updates, but with Nintendo they're unpredictable. But I do think we'll get Mario Kart 9 instead of the DLC.
So I have to agree with you there. I do think there was DLC plans, and they're possibly using those DLC ideas for a possible Mario Kart 9. I mean, to be fair, this kind of has happened where two Mario Kart games have kind of shared the same engine, or at least the same assets, with Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart Double Dash. So it's not impossible. However, let's not discredit that Nintendo did say that there was going to be future updates for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Whether or not it's either too late or not, because it is 2019 and the game was released in 2017.
That seems like a long time though. The game is almost 2 years old now, at least for the Switch port. So releasing DLC now would be kind of weird.
It would be a little bit weird, but it's also kind of weird that they did say that there would be future updates to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's just, all they gave us was Breath of the Wild Link and a Labo set.
But those were future updates, regardless of what you think of them.
Oh, absolutely, but I'm thinking whenever Nintendo says there's going to be future updates for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you kind of assume that it really has nothing to do with Labo kits or a skin for a character that's already in the game. So, beyond that, I really have no other points for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm in the same boat as you. I want Mario Kart 9. I've just been playing devil's advocate because, there's a possibility.
And I agree with you that there is a possibility. As we've seen before, Nintendo is really unpredictable. Like with E3 this year, or last year, I'm still stuck in 2018. We expected it to be huge, but in reality, we just got one new game. And for Nintendo's first mobile app, it was Miitomo instead of a Mario game. So, as Arlo said, you never know what to expect from Nintendo, but I do expect Mario Kart 9. I can't see DLC happening, and unless it really changes the game, I wouldn't be excited for it. And if it's going to change the game massively, just release a new game.
Do you think, now, here's a question for you. Do you think Mario Kart 9 will come out this year and be like the big holiday game that Nintendo's revving up for, or do you think we might get it for 2020 for Mario's 35th anniversary?
Well, I don't want to get too off topic here, but I think Mario Kart 9 will either come out this year or in 2021.
Fair
and
enough.
Super Mario Odyssey 2 or Super Mario Maker 2 will be the Mario game in 2020.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So do we have do we have any other things that we want to bring up for Mario Kart 9 before we wrap this up?
Yeah, another reason why I think it's more likely for it to come out this year is because
Hmm.
of Mario Kart Tour. We did talk about
Right.
there being some connectivity, so
Hmm.
if Mario Kart Tour plays the cards right and is a free-to-play game which hooks people and a lot of people are playing it, it makes sense to release a new Mario Kart this year. So they could
Yeah.
easily release Mario Kart 9 when the hype for Mario Kart Tour is really big.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's weird because Nintendo has said before that Mario Kart Tour is pretty much, it's in development and it's working, and I'm not sure if they said it was done or not.
They said
Can
it's on track
you
for 2019, early
It's on track for
2019.
2019. Okay. Um, you know, it's a little strange that they'll be announcing a Mario Kart for mobile, and there will be a 2-year-old port of a game that came out in 2014. So I was thinking, they would do the Pokemon Go thing where they use Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go for this interconnectivity between, two different systems, right? Um, whether or not, you know, whether or not they do this, I'm pretty sure they will, but to what extent will they use the mobile app with Mario Kart 9?
We'll
Who
just have to see
knows?
by then.
Right. Exactly. Like, who knows? Maybe you can make your own tracks with your finger on the mobile phone. I don't know.
But that's another topic
But
for another day.
right, exactly. So do you want to end it off right here, Demetri?
I think so. I just really
All
hope we
right.
get a new Mario Kart because as much as I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's my favorite Mario Kart game, I am ready for a new Mario Kart. And I'm not talking about Tour, I am ready for Mario Kart 9 on the Switch. Hopefully we'll
Oh
see
yeah.
double carts again, the return of character
Oh,
exclusive items, a better
mission mode.
roster without babies or metal characters.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But if you guys would like to see us talk about Mario Kart 9 in a separate podcast, please leave your comments down below. We'd love to hear them. I'm Ty the Guy. Oh man, I'm not Ty the Guy anymore. I'm Tyler from T&D Productions.
And I'm Ted.
Yes, you are Ted.